Okay, so this Patreon update contains a lot of content. I'm going to get started off by looking through Alara's code and all of the different changes that I've made to it. As you can see, everything looks really well organized compared to what it last was. I'm not sure if you guys saw that. If you follow me on Twitter and on Tumblr, then you would have seen what it looked like. But you can see everything's much more organized. Everything's actually optimized as a result of that organization. I found better ways to do things. And, over here I've got an inventory system. This is just, for Alara. There's a whole bunch of more code for the inventory system. But then we also have another system over here called the dynamic damage system. Both of those I'm going to get into later. But as you can see, everything's all nice and organized. I'm going to start off by highlighting really some of the major stuff, which is the anyway. So you can see here, we start walking around, and if we stop walking, it's a really small, minute thing. If we stop walking, you'll notice wherever the camera is rotated to in terms of the head bob, it'll smoothly focus back to looking straight ahead where it should be. So that's, one little thing that we have optimized. If we run, of course we're going to get behind a cloud shadow right now, so you're not going to be able to see the terrain as well. That shouldn't really matter too much. But anyway, if we run, it looks a little janky because of I have yet to smooth the head bobbing between one profile and another one, but you can tell the speed at which I'm moving smoothly transitions between walking and sprinting. So that gives it a little bit more of an, there we go. That gives it a little bit more of an organic feel. Also, a problem that I was having with crouching, I'm not sure what happened. I think it was, I updated the engine version and some things got buggy, and then I updated it again, and then I went through all my optimizations and code rewrites, and I got this working very well. I'm very happy with it. I modified the animation timeline, so if I press the crouch button, Alara now crouches really smoothly, and it looks really nice. There was also a problem that I ran into where movement speed lerps. It's kind of a weird term, but that's what it's called. Movement speed lerping between normal walking speed and crouch walking speed. That stopped working, but I got that working again, and you can see right here. Now I'm moving a little slower, and I'm moving faster. I'm smoothly transitioning between the two as I press the crouch button. Next thing that was being sort of problematic that I fixed and got working really well, which I'm really proud of because, it's a feature that I've been trying to add to the game and I've been trying to perfect, but I haven't been able to until now, is smooth leaning. So you can see right there, that looks really nice, and this chunk of code that I wrote is completely bug-free, to my knowledge. No matter how I test it, it seems to work perfectly. The main problem that I was having was, say, I want to look at this ground foliage right here. I'm like, cool, whatever. I want to lean to the right and look at it from the side. Well, before the optimizations and the code rewrites, what would happen is I would press the lean button, the player's view would snap looking directly forward, and then I would lean right. I would have to look back down if I wanted to do that again. But as you can see, that's fixed. I can look around the plan if I want, do that kind of stuff. And, that obviously also works for crouching. Another problem that I was having with that is, say I press the Q key to lean left, and I didn't allow the animation to play all the way through. I released the key before I got from here's point A to point B. I released the key somewhere in between there. My camera might be stuck like this. And what I was able to do is, just keep pressing that button and the camera would keep, doing all sorts of weird rotaty things. But, you'd probably hear me in the background right there. And you can obviously see, I'm just going crazy on that button and it's not, both the buttons. And it's not messing up the positioning of the camera. Well, that's one thing that I was really pumped to have figured out. There's also, when you're moving around, there used to be a problem when, say the player's moving right here or walking, whatever, and if I were to jump and keep moving forward, the head bob would continue to go even though I technically shouldn't, have a head bob in the air. You can see that's fixed. As soon as I jump into the air, the head bobbing stops. This is much more noticeable on the sprint, or if I jump, it stops, hit the ground again, keep running, and it, resumes. And also, there was a problem. I don't know if I pointed out in a previous update video or if it was like on a Tumblr blog post or something. But I fixed the sprinting head bob persistence, where if I would release the sprint key, I actually stop sprinting, or the head bob stops moving. Before, I would release the key and the head bob would just keep shaking around even if I wasn't moving. So that's also fixed. So next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to head on over here over to the pre-alpha map quarry area, and I'm going to demonstrate the inventory system that I've been working on. So far it's fleshed out pretty well. It's very workable in terms of adding new items to, like what can be picked up and what can't be. You see right here, there's a stack of what look like boxes. This is our debug item, which is actually the first item that I ever put into the game that could be picked up and added to the inventory. And over here we got some delicious bowls of noodles, because noodles are awesome and tasty. So, each one of these are considered a different item in the inventory. If we go over here, right here, this is our bowl of noodles actor, and you can see over here under the S item data, this is like just our structure information, which tells the program, this is what the item is, this is what it should look like. If you drop it, then you're gonna spawn this kind of mesh. You can spawn a different kind of mesh. And then there's just a whole bunch of different things that I added that can affect gameplay in one way or another. So, I'll run through the list of what there is. There's an item name, which is obviously the name of the item description, that's also self-explanatory. The item texture is the texture image that's going to appear in the inventory when we select the item to inspect it. If you can pick it up, if the item stacks. If the item does stack, or it is stackable, then you can have multiple instances of that one specific item in your inventory and have it just take up one slot. There's going to be, say it is a bowl of noodles, then there's going to be parentheses next to it and however many you have in your inventory if it's more than one. If you can use it, if it can heal you, if you can eat it, if you can drink it, and if you can equip it. All of these are just cosmetic kind of modifiers which tell our inventory system, what do we want some dynamic buttons to say. So, say we select the bowl of noodles, it's going to say eat food, or it's going to say drop food. However, if we have the debug item selected, it's going to say something like, since it's not a food, it's going to be checked as, what would it be? I think it would just be checked as can use. I haven't been around in this code for quite some time, actually, to be honest. But it would be under can use, and it would say something like use item, drop item. So, same thing with drink, drink beverage, drop beverage. It just, gives that little bit of dynamicness to the inventory system. These are also going to be utilized for traders. If they sell healing items, if they sell food items, if they sell drinks, equipment, etc. What they can sell, what they can't. For equipment, this is equipment slot. You can see right there I made a little tooltip. It's for wearables or tools. If this value is set to 0 and the can equip slot is selected, then it's considered some kind of headgear. Could be a hat, could be a hood, helmet, whatever. Then, same thing. If it's 1, it's torso, 2 is arms, 3 would be a tool or a weapon, 4 are leggings, and 5 is footwear. So you can imagine how those would be equipped and, think of some examples. Over here are item weight, how much it weighs in pounds. It doesn't weigh 3 pounds. That would be a big bowl of noodles. It's a modified scale. This is using integers, and it gets converted into floats later just because there's a whole bunch of problems with, floating point errors and stuff I don't really want to get into talking about because it took me a long time to figure out. So we're converting these from integers into floats, and that works with our weight system in the inventory. So how much we can carry. Alara can, as of right now, carry 140 pounds by default, so a fun fact. Return hunger, return thirst, return health, return intoxication. Those do exactly what they say. There are counters that keep track of these stats, and if I consume this, it's going to fill up the bar 15%. If I consume it, it's going to fill up my thirst by 2%. And health, intoxication, etc., etc. And then there's different malady modifiers, which this integrates with the dynamic damage system in a way that, say it is it's a usable item, it's a healing item. So if you were to use it and say, it's going to heal your head or your arm, say it's going to heal your arm, then this value would be set to something like, 0.5, and that's going to cut whatever the remaining time of the issue is you're having. Say you can't hold a weapon because you got hit in the arm with a spear. It's going to cut the time that the player is required to wait in half, the remaining time anyway, and basically allow the player to heal faster. Same thing with any of the other areas. Obviously, you can increase that value to something like 2 if you, say, eat a poisonous mushroom. I don't know. Say you eat a poisonous mushroom, and that's going to affect your malady modifier by 2. So it's going to double whatever time you have remaining, basically. Item classes is just for deep code stuff. This is the item that you drop when you click on the drop item, drop food, drop drink, etc. So, with all that said, let's take a look at the inventory system. So, as I said, these are broken now. This is our inventory filler item. You can pick it up. You see I have a debug string in the top left-hand corner that says I'm carrying 600 out of 1400. And that's just, to confirm that this is being added to the inventory. That's just for debug. That's going to be removed in game. Same thing with this ray trace line. That's also going to be removed. So what did I do? I picked up 7 boxes, and I know why that happened. Okay, so I got some new noodles on the table. The other ones went bad, so that's why they weren't working. I let them sit there for too long. They kind of dried out. But anyway, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, I want this one. 7. And let's say we want these bowls of noodles. Sure, why not? Now we can press I to open our inventory, and we're gonna get a. No, this is just me talking myself up. I think we're gonna get a pretty nice looking interface. So here you can see, we've got everything that we have in our inventory. We have the 7 boxes that we picked up, and we have the 5 bowls of noodles that we picked up. I click on this, I'm going to get some information about it. Its name is Debug Inventory Filler. It weighs about 10 pounds, and it says, this is a debug item that should only be found by developers if it is, it's used to test the functionality of our inventory system. If found, please contact your nearest Project Freelance Games staff member and ask for assistance, because you shouldn't find this. Then we got bowl noodles, weighs 0.3 pounds. That's where I was talking about the integers to floating points. Weighs 0.3 pounds, and this is a bowl of cooked noodles in a soy sauce mixture. It smells a little sweet and seems like it would be a filling snack. You can see down here are two action buttons that we have: eat food, drop food. If I select our inventory filler, it's going to say use item, drop item. You can also see down here our preview image of the item that we're inspecting changes as I select different things. In the bottom left hand corner, you can see that I'm carrying about 71 pounds. This is an approximate value because, you know, you're not gonna exactly be able to tell, well, this is exactly, you know, 0.3 pounds. It's just kind of like an approximate. Don't really want the player to know how much they're carrying, so it's like, oh, I didn't mean to press escape. So it's like, you know, the player wants to go pick something up, and it's like, it says, you don't think you can carry this because it seems like it would be too heavy. You know, just that kind of thing. So right here, if we do the quick math, you know, 3 times 5, that's 15, so that would be 1.5 pounds that we have here. So that gets rounded over to 71, since you have 7 of these, and that's 10 pounds. 71.5 pounds is exactly what I'm carrying. So I keep pressing escape. So if I press, you know, if I get out of our inventory without closing it, and I pick up one more item, it's going to say, since it's still below the 72 mark, it's going to say I'm still carrying 71 pounds. But right there, if I pick that up, then it's going to say I'm carrying 72 pounds. So that's cool. You can also see, you know, if I just start picking everything up, I'm not able to pick anything else up because this is too heavy, and, you know, I'm going to have some kind of an overlay message that says, you don't think you can carry this, something along those lines. This is a lighter item, so I can pick that up, I can fit that in my inventory, but big stuff like this, I cannot. So anyway, you see, these are just stats for the for debug dev team members and everything. You can see Alara's getting kind of hungry, she's getting really thirsty, so the filler item is the best way to remedy this because it just does a whole bunch of stuff. I could say use item, and you can see my hunger went up. Well, my hunger, technically it went down, but the bar went up, meaning I'm not hungry. Same thing with the thirst, and you can see every time I click on this, my item count goes down, my weight gets reduced, and Alara's probably about to explode because she ate so many of these boxes. But, you know, we can go over here and we'd say if we want to drop the item, gonna make a nice stack of noodle bowls and just kind of ruin it with a box. I gotta figure out a better way to spawn items from the inventory. Just because, you know, they just kind of pile on top of one another. But this next thing I'm going to show you is item sorting. So we got our boxes, we got our noodles. If I go back into my inventory, there's this bar over here on the left. And obviously, you know, it sorts by whatever the buttons say. So if I have any health items, I click on that, it's going to sort through. It's going to get rid of everything that's in my inventory that's just being displayed. It's not actually going to get rid of it. It's just not going to display it. And it's only going to show items that are flagged with the can heal boolean. You know, items that are flagged with the can use boolean are going to be displayed with items. Can eat, food, can drink, equipable. You know, slots 1, 2, 4, 5, and then you know, for wearable, and then 3 for weapons. You know, just all that. So if I click on items, I'm only going to get my inventory filler, as you can see right there. If I click on food, I'm just going to get my bowl of noodles there. If I click unsort, it's going to show everything, and hopefully that will increase just kind of the flow of a player going through their inventory whilst they're playing. Okay, so this next thing, which I think is pretty cool, yeah, I don't have this properly implemented yet, and it's actually not really completely finished. But you know, say I pick up a whole bunch of stuff, inventory full, I can't pick up anymore. This is the dynamic damage system, and what it does is it calculates random variables based on some kind of an injury that you sustain. So right now I'm just going to demonstrate a broken leg. Or broken leg, damaged leg. Damaged leg would probably be a better term. I'm going to simulate a damaged leg here. Say as a result of something like if I were to jump off of this, you know, and I fall all the way down here, I land on this hard surface, I'm going to hurt my leg. Maybe sprain an ankle. That way I move slower and I won't be able to carry as much because I can't put as much weight on that leg. So you see my inventory is just full. I'm carrying 131 out of 140 pounds. So, oh crap. I forgot that I was working on that interface as well. Still worked though. If you saw in the top left hand corner real briefly, it said wounded leg detected. That means the dynamic damage system received a event update that says, hey, your leg's broken now. And if you see, I gotta fix this head bob problem. But right now I cannot move in whatever direction because I'm carrying way too much weight. So if I start to drop some stuff, I forgot what the threshold was, but I start to drop some stuff, I can't move. I'll move in proportion to how much I'm carrying. Oh, right there at the bottom of the screen it shows, I completely forgot that I set this to update as well. Like I said, I haven't been in this code for quite some time. I've been working on a whole bunch of other stuff in college and everything. So anyway, you know, we're carrying 81 out of 70 pounds. We're carrying way too much for our broken leg. See, it's still not working there. I drop some food items. I'm not really sure why that's not working. I just did a whole other test and everything. As you can see right now, I'm carrying 70 out of 70 pounds, and I'm moving around at normal speed like I should be. And you know, I won't be able to pick anything else up because you don't think you can carry it with your hurt leg or whatever. Yeah, what used to happen? I gotta see what happened in the code. What used to happen is you used to move in proportion to how much extra weight you were carrying. The more weight you were carrying, the slower you would move until you couldn't move, like you saw. And, you know, you would drop more weight and you would move quicker and quicker and quicker until you're back at the normal movement speed. I also got to change the head bob value and, you know, do all that sorts of stuff. Like I said, this is still in development. This isn't completely done yet. Obviously, there's some bugs, as you just saw. But yeah, I have no idea what happened to the code there. Anyway. The dynamic damage system also should have... I don't know if it's working now or if it's working now or not anymore, but it was. I'm gonna have to test that too and do a whole bunch of, you know, retesting and stuff. But like I said, I explained the malady modifiers in the items. If I used this while I had a broken leg, I'm not sure if I still have the debug messages hooked up. Wounded leg detected. Use item. Yeah, no, I don't have the debug messages set up. But this should have reduced the time by half, so... I forgot what I had the timer set to. I should be able to carry 140 pounds soon. But yeah. Yeah, that's the malady modifier part of the dynamic damage system. Also, brief overview, this is, you know, again, just still real heavily in development. This is just testing the really basic raw mechanics of everything. This is our building system, which it's going to work with this interface, as you see here, but nothing set up yet. It's going to work with that interface. If I press Alt, this is just going to give us a template of what's going to happen. There we go. I got a box that I can, you know, move around and place around wherever I want. Just like that. I mean, you saw right there, I wanted to place a few more boxes before I talked about that. I couldn't place the box between these two, and why that is because you see the sphere that's around that. That's that's a ray trace that's testing for collisions, and as you can see, the box to the left and the right are actually inside of the they're inside of the boundaries that we're testing for, so I can't place an item there because I would be putting it, too close to something. Obviously, that's a testing value just to show that it works. I didn't put too much care into figuring out the radius. But, I move over here and I can start putting stuff down. You can also see that the preview mesh color changes from green to red if I can or can't place it. And there's also this cool feature. You see how everything sticks to the normals of the terrain as I move it around? So I can put something on a wall like that. Different items are going to have different ways that they're allowed to be built. Something like a floor that's going to just disregard the normals and, build so it's all level and looks nice. Other things like, say this is a campfire, I can put it over here on the side of a hill, I can put it over here where it's flat and nice and open. I can probably burn this down, I don't know. But, say I want to put it up over here on the side of a mountain. Well, you can't build a campfire like that, and you can see right there, it's not going to let me build. It's not even testing for, it's optimized, so it's not even going to test for collisions because it knows it's not going to be able to be placed there because that's way too shallow of an angle. So, small items that you can put on the ground, like, say, a rock or something. I have little rocks in the path that are interfering with the trace. I can put it over here on the ground, but I can't put it on a wall. So, that's that. Obviously, when the system's done, you'll have whatever you need in your inventory to build it. You're going to go through this little book interface, and you're going to find out, okay, this is what I need to build this. You're going to figure out, just whatever you can from the page. And obviously, select that. You're going to get this kind of a blueprinting interface. Place that down. Once you place it down, those items are going to get removed from your inventory. And then I even further need to go on to set up a way so you can remove the items that you have that you've placed down. But yeah, that's pretty much an overview of everything that's included in this Patreon update. We covered the fixed movement, covered a kind of broken dynamic damage system, which I need to figure out what happened with that. We covered the rough skeleton of our building system, and you guys saw our inventory, and little bonus, the start of our survival book. That is all, right? Guess so. I also want to give a really big thanks to these two cool people right here, Hunter and Rennick. They are the first two people who are pledging $10 or more per development cycle on our Patreon page. And what that means is that they have reserved 2 of the 10 slots available to playtest the mechanics of the game in terms of the pre-alpha map as soon as it's ready. So they're going to get access to that. They're going to be listed in the game's credits as a heavy supporter and a pre-alpha player. Still got some, other 2 really cool people here, Ryan Trippy and Sinagashi. They're supporting me with $5 per development cycle. That's really awesome, guys. Thank you so much. They're going to be listed in the heavy support funder category of the credits. So again, thank you guys so much. I'm really looking forward to this being a finished game. I really like how it's coming along, and all the support. Just thank you so much. Yeah, that bowl of noodles was gone. I gotta fix that.